Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Friar 4 SCBL Conference Baseball between your Queen City Corndogs and the visiting Statesville Owls. On the mound for the Corndogs this afternoon is Sam Johnson, number 21, and the first batter of the game for the Owls is Isaiah Williams-Rem. Both teams with 2 wins in SCBL Conference play. The Corndogs 2-1. As that pitch is going to be a ball. Corndogs 2-1 in the SCBL. Owls 2-0 after their last game was canceled, and the Corndogs coming out of an out-of-conference win against the Hendersonville Honeycrisps as the first at-bat of the game results in the first hit of the game as Isaiah Williams-Rem leads things off for Statesville with a single. After their last game was rained out during the storms earlier this week.
Number 22, Garrett Ladalek.
Now number 22, Garrett Ladalek, up at bat for the Owls. Williams-Rem on first base as Johnson, getting his first start of the season for the Corndogs, has 3 innings of work up until this game. And that is going to be another base hit. Ladalek gets the single. Williams-Rem trying to get to third, and that throw is not going to get there in time. Nice catch made by Harrison Wilson at third, and 2 quick base runners here for the Owls. And that brings up number 9, Sion Barnett, 195-pounder from Honea Path, South Carolina, batting in the 3-hole tonight for the Owls as they're off to a hot start here in the Friar. Runners on the corners for Statesville. Sam Johnson, in his last outing against the Athletics of Concord, had no hits in 1 inning of action with 1 strikeout, has 5 strikeouts on the season, and has yet to allow a run. 0-1 count here. As Barnett, the righty, stands in the box and takes ball 1. In 2 SCBL games, Barnett is batting .286 on the year as that pitch is low for ball 2. So early fireworks here for the Owls. Williams-Rem on third, Ladalek on first. No outs, 2-1 count for Barnett at the plate. Johnson gets a swing and a miss out of Barnett right there, so a 2-2 count here for Johnson. Johnson 6'4", 210 pounds. Big presence on the mound physically at an even 2-2 count right now. Throws this one in, and that is going to be ball 1, and Ladalek will get over to second base without any throw from Boothlet behind the plate, for the Corndogs. So now 2 runners in scoring position, full count, no outs. And the pitch from Johnson gets a swing and a miss, and the first out of the inning for the Corndogs on a strikeout, the 6th of the year for Johnson.
First baseman, number 99, J.D. James.
Which brings up J.D. James, the first baseman, 6'3" lefty from China Grove, North Carolina. 1 out, runners on second and third. Johnson trying to get out of the jam early here, as this first pitch is fouled off down the third base line. Mark it an 0-1 count. Johnson, a freshman from Marietta College, Charlotte native, getting the nod tonight for the Corndogs. Coach Pluta, the manager for Queen City, alluded to the fact that he may be getting starts as conference season ramps up, and lo and behold, here we are with his first start of the season coming in the 3rd game of the conference season. Well, 4th game, Johnson with the 1-1 count. Has that one fouled off again to the left side of the field. So J.D. James in a 1-2 hole here. James, sophomore from Caldwell Community College. Batting fourth tonight for the Statesville squad. Johnson analyzing, throwing this one in, and that's a swing and a miss for his second strikeout of the first inning. And after allowing 2 base hits in his first 2 at-bats, Sam Johnson getting in a groove here with back-to-back strikeouts. That brings up second baseman, number 28, Caleb Gant. Runner still on first and second for the Owls. 2 outs now. Timeout. Things quickly back on track now. Gant playing in the outfield tonight from Catawba College. 5'11" righty. Sees pitch 1 go outside, so 1-0 count on Gant, number 28. Johnson on the season now with 7 strikeouts in 3 innings and some change pitched. 1 out away from getting out of this inning as that pitch is fouled off down the third base line. 1-1 count. Corndogs coming off a 13-3 win at Hendersonville last night. Took the long drive there and back with the victory as Johnson throws this one in for ball 2, so a 2-1 count. Mays and Price got the W for the Corndogs on the mound, despite the team only throwing 5 strikeouts and 5 walks as well, so got it done with the ball in play, so different pace here as that one is fouled off behind the back netting and mark it at 2-2 count, 1 strike away for Johnson. Hoping to bounce back from those 2 early hits from Williams, Gant, and Ladalek. The tall righty loads this one up, and it is high and inside for ball 3, so we got a full count. Owls trying to capitalize on their early 2 hits. Corndogs dugout getting into it, wearing the home yellows tonight. On a 3-game winning streak are the Corndogs as this pitch from Johnson is popped up into the air. Budnick chasing it down, foul, and the play will be made. Will Budnick gets the 3rd out of the inning for the Corndogs. 2 hits for the Owls, but unable to score with 2 runners in scoring position. And that brings us to the bottom of the first inning, where we'll get to see the Corndogs up at bat for the first time this afternoon. Action here from the bottom of the first between the visiting Statesville Owls and your Queen City Corndogs. Game 1 of 2 between these squads today, and a doubleheader here from the Friar. Number 30, Joe Gaither on the mound for the Owls for his first action of the SCBL season. Pitch 1, looking good. In for a strike and an 0-1 count now against Garrett Sanner, who's leading off tonight for the Corndogs as he has for a majority of the season. Sanner, one of the leading batters on the roster, in fact leads the team in average, but this one isn't going to come up with anything as the play is made at first base. The catch made at first, by J.D. James, and one quick out for Queen City. That brings up Luke Harris now, number 13 for the Corndogs. Harris has slowly worked his way up the batting order for Queen City as this pitch from Gaither is in for strike 1, so a nice start here for Gaither in his first action of conference play. As that pitch is outside, the first ball of the night from Gaither. Luke Harris in the batter's box. Pinch hit versus the Honeycrisps yesterday. Went 0-1 in that at-bat. But has started more games than not, as that is a big swing and a miss from Harris, making the count 1-2 now in favor of Gaither on the bump. Harris only has 2 hits on the season, but is still tied for the best on-base percentage on the team. Has gotten walked, hit by pitches, as that one is low and away for ball 2, so an even 2-2 count. Harris, as we mentioned, batting .250 with only 2 hits, so getting it done still. As, speak of the devil, hit by a pitch right there and sends Harris to base for the first base runner of the night for the Corndogs. That sends up number 10, Cannon Pierce, the UNC Asheville product, who has been sensational as of late. Up until yesterday, had his worst game of the season against the Honeycrisps, went 0-3, and it was his first game all year without a hit. Did steal a base as he got on base, but that's going to be ball 1. 1 out, Harris on first. Pierce, the sophomore utility man, takes a swing at that one, comes up short. So 1-1 count here. Gaither looking comfortable so far. And with Cannon Pierce, he leads the Corndogs in steals and is tied for the team lead in walks with 7, as that one is going to go into the outfield right down the first base line as Pierce rounds to second. Luke Harris advances to third, and 2 runners in scoring position, and that's a nice sight for Corndogs fans as Cannon Pierce gets his first hit since earlier in the week after going over yesterday. That brings up number 11, Tyler Cotto, for the Corndogs. Normally wears number 38, but with these yellow jerseys has to make a little adjustment. Cotto, 2-3 against the Honeycrisps with a 2-run shot in the 7th inning. Cotto with 3 home runs on the year to lead the Corndogs. As the first pitch he sees, he takes a big swing at, fouls that one back, and makes the count 0-1. Cotto has really turned it on as of late. Has back-to-back games with a home run. Clearly the leader of the power department for Queen City, as that one has Cotto swinging out of the batter's box, and a 0-2 count now. Gaither ahead of Cotto. And on the season, Cotto leads the Corndogs in RBIs after all those home runs, has 10 of them, the first to reach double digits for Queen City, as Gaither winds this one up, and it'll be outside for ball 1, so Cotto 1-2, has Harris on third, Pierce on second. The Queen's University, 5th-year senior, or entering his 5th year, I should say, Sees this pitch in and cranks it into the outfield. That is going to be his 4th home run of the season. Make it 3 games in a row for Tyler Cotto with the home run. As number 11 for the Corndogs, wearing a new number tonight, but definitely not a new player, as that's 3 games in a row going yard for Cotto. Puts on the hard hat, and boy has he been working hard. Cotto brings in 3 and gives the Corndogs their first lead of the contest. That was a no-doubter from Cotto, and just continues his hot streak. Now with 13 RBIs, 4 home runs on the season, Cotto has been simply phenomenal for this QC squad. That brings up number 55, Will Budnick, Tyler Cotto's teammate at Queen's University of Charlotte. The first baseman for the Corndogs sees this pitch, number 1, come in and takes a big hack trying to follow suit. And still 1 out, 1 strike, no balls. And after Cotto cleared his bases there, no runners on, as that is going to be fouled off down the right field line. And a quick 0-2 count here for Budnick. Gaither trying to bounce back after giving up that 3-run shot. And does so right there with the strikeout on Budnick. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and make quick work of Budnick there. So now with 2 outs, no runners on, Corndogs up 3-0. Sends up number 37, Harrison Bouthelet. Bouthelet, the other player on the Corndogs roster with the home run this season, besides Cotto with his 4 now. Bouthelet went 0-2 versus the Honeycrisps with 2 strikeouts and 2 walks. As that one is a no-doubter, make it strike 1. 1-1 count, 2 outs, no on for Bouthelet, who's batting .353 on the season for San Jacinto Community College, where he'll be attending for this upcoming collegiate season. That pitch is inside for ball 2, so a 2-1 count here for Bouthelet, the powerful lefty from Indian Land, South Carolina. Bouthelet just goes foul down the first base line, so now a 2-2 count. And for Joe Gaither, just a strike away from getting his Owls to the top of the 2nd inning. Bouthelet stands patient in the box as that pitch goes outside and brings up a full count here. Chance for Statesville to end this inning as Gaither loads up and deals that one in, and it is chopped to the first baseman. The play will be made as Gaither was able to get the tag in time. A nice play by the pitcher there, but the big play in the inning, a Tyler Cotto 3-run home run, and 3 games in a row for Cotto with a dinger. So that brings us to the top of the 2nd inning with the Corndogs up on top of the Owls, 3-0 here from the Friar. Back here for the start of the second inning between the Owls and the Corndogs. Queen City out to a 3-0 lead after a huge blast in the left field by Tyler Cotto. Umpire getting situated. So, 3-0 lead for Queen City. Number 24, Noah Moritz. Up at the plate for the Owls. The Owls trying to get themselves out of this early 3-0 hole. Sam Johnson trying to neutralize them like he did in the first inning. Johnson had 2 strikeouts in the top of the first, and then a Will Budnick pop fly catch sent the Corndogs to the bottom of the first as Johnson down on the count 2-0 quickly with back-to-back balls. Moritz goes to Bluefield State College, freshman there. Is the lefty number 24 who's playing in the outfield tonight. Well, tonight, this afternoon, somewhere in between, 5 p.m. start. As that one is hit far, but it'll be foul for Moritz. The first strike of the at-bat. So 2-1 count here for Sam Johnson, who made a nice bounce back in the top of the first. Got the back-to-back strikeouts to close out the inning after allowing 2 base hits in the top of the first with the first 2 at-bats. Just had to settle in, it looks like. Did Johnson. As he deals this one in, and it is lined right to left center field. Moritz rounding first, going to try to go to second. Singleton unable to corral it against the warning track, and that'll be a leadoff double in the top of the second for Moritz. Another nice start to the inning for the Owls. That sends up number 7, Caden Howell, who's an extra hitter tonight for the Owls. Goes to Rockingham Community College from Roaring River, North Carolina, is Howell. Listed as a catcher, but playing tonight as one of the extra hitters. You get an extra hitter and a designated hitter in SCBL play. Because who doesn't love as much offense as possible, right? Well, Sam Johnson doesn't, as that pitch is just outside for ball 1. So with a leadoff double for Moritz. Howell at the plate. No outs yet for the Corndogs. Johnson looks back at second, surveying the situation. Deals this one in, and that'll be a strike. So 1-1 count now. Three hits allowed on the night. As that one is low and away for ball 2. 2-1 count, and now Sam Johnson playing the role of protector of this 3-run lead. Corndogs are 6-1 on the year and have scored double-digit runs in all but one of their wins. Corndogs on the year averaging roughly 9 runs a game. In fact, it's actually 10 runs a game. That number increased yesterday with a 13-3 win against Hendersonville. And that pitch is fouled off, so with a 3-1 count, brings it to a full count. Caden Howell, 5'11", 200-pound righty. Entering his junior year is Howell. With one runner on second, no outs. Johnson cognizant of second base as that one is fouled back yet again, so this at-bat will go at least one pitch longer as Howell stays alive. Batters on the year are only hitting .203 against his Corndogs pitching staff, so exceptional work by Jeff Pluta's committee of pitchers. And 51 innings of work have only allowed 19 runs. As that pitch is high and inside for ball 4. Nice at-bat right there from Howell, as now there's 2 runners on for the Owls.
Now at the plate for the Owls, the catcher number 36, Kenny Liner.
That sends up Kenny Liner, the catcher for the Owls, a Wake Forest, North Carolina native, making his way down the state for some summer ball as Johnson steps off the mound. Moritz taking a pretty sizable lead over there at second base. Howell at first. No outs. As Liner takes a big swing at that one, but comes up with nothing, so an 0-1 count early in this one. Liner doesn't go to Wake Forest, although he's from there, attends Western Carolina. So he's all over the state. Entering his junior year and playing behind the plate tonight as the catcher for this Owls roster, as that pitch from Johnson goes outside for ball one. And much like the top of the first inning, Johnson in his first two batters faced puts them both on base. Now trying to replicate the part where he got the back-to-back strikeouts. Well, that'll help. That's strike number 2. After a big hack right there from Liner, makes the count 1-2. Liner, the lefty, looking to protect the plate here and keeps himself in this one as that one's fouled back towards the left field netting. Liner, the tying run at the plate right now for the Owls. Got quickly in the 0-3 hole after that home run from Cotto in the bottom of the first inning. Game tonight only going 7 innings with a 5-run mercy rule in place as that pitch is low for ball 2. Nice no swing right there by Liner. That one was difficult not to go at. Poised from the catcher. But as I was saying, shorter games tonight as we do have a second contest between these two squads immediately after the first with a 30-minute buffer in between as that pitch is outside. So Liner worked himself all the way back in the count now, and it's 3-2 with the chance to load the bases for the Owls with no outs. Do keep in mind the Owls had 2 runners in scoring position and left them both stranded in the top of the first. Trying to right their wrongs here in the top of the second. Johnson with the full count throws that one in. Bouthelette goes to third and won't get there in time. So runner on third now. That's Moritz getting over to the hot corner. But the strikeout at the plate gives the Corndogs their first out of the inning. And so with Jack Weaver, number 3 for the Owls, stepping up, Jeff Pluta, the manager for Queen City, will talk to his starting pitcher and go over some things here with 1 out and runners on the corners. We'll be back for the remainder of the top of the second inning right after this little break. All right, after a quick conversation with Sam Johnson, manager Jeff Pluta heads back to the dugout. Johnson with runners on the corners throws a first pitch ball. 1 out. At the plate right now is number 3, Jack Weaver, a sophomore from Salisbury, North Carolina. Weaver looks at that one go outside, so a 2-0 count here. Moritz at third base with Caden Howell at first. Johnson, that one fouled back. So the first strike of the at-bat against Jack Weaver, who attends Surrey Community College. Johnson yet to give up a run this season. At risk of doing so right now as Weaver whiffs on that one and brings up a 2-2 count for the Corn Dogs pitcher Sam Johnson, who already has 2 strikeouts tonight. Well, actually has 3, excuse me. Lost track of the last one that just sat in there because the action from Moritz trying to get the third base. As this pitch is in for strike number 3 and make it strike out number 4. Sam Johnson working himself back into this inning. Back-to-back strikeouts once again after getting down in a jam, which sends up number 2, Troy Clary, outfielder from Moxville, North Carolina. And a legitimate risk right here for the Owls of stranding 2 more runners on despite having no outs. That pitch is down, right down Central Avenue, 85 miles per hour, right into the glove of Boothilette. 0-1 count now against Clary. Goes to Rockingham Community College. That one is high for ball 2, so a 1-1 count here for Johnson, who after allowing once again the first two batters of the inning to get on base, he's come all the way back and now 1 out away and 1 strike away after Johnson catches Clary swinging. I don't know what Jeff Pluta said to his starting pitcher tonight when he came out to the mound moments ago, but it clearly had to have been something good because Johnson has the goods right now. The Marietta College product launches this one in and gets his 3rd consecutive strikeout. Sam Johnson, with 5 strikeouts and 2 innings of work, heads back to the dugout with some encouragement from his teammates as we head to the bottom of the 2nd inning with the Corn Dogs maintaining their 3-0 lead here in Game 1 between Queen City and Statesville. Bottom of the 2nd inning here for the Corn Dogs, up with a 3-0 lead. And leading off the inning for the Corn Dogs is number 26, Dave Mosry. He's got a couple back-to-back DMPs resting up as that is going to be an out at first base. The play made at first by J.D. James, the number 99 for the Owls, as Mosry in his first action in a couple of games. Grounds out right there for the first out of the inning. And that sends up arguably yesterday's best player, Caleb Singleton, number 4, who had a fantastic game against the Honeycrisp. Went 3 of 4 with 2 doubles, as that one is in there for strike 1 from Joe Gaither. And it was the first time this year that a corn dog has had multiple extra base hits in the same game. As Singleton, the lefty, whiffs on that one, evening the count at 1. Singleton, after that game, brought his numbers up mightily, now batting .400 on the season. Among the team leaders in hits with 8 of them already. And sees this one go right to the first baseman. James, gonna get there in time, throws it back to Gaither with Singleton. Infuriated with that call right there. Thought that he got his foot on the bag, and when you're that fast, from here it looks like he got it, but he makes everything look like he gets it with the pace that he has on the base path. So a back-to-back ground outs here in the top of the second inning, bottom of the second inning for the Corn Dogs, which brings up Harrison Wilson, number 25. Wilson watches that pitch go in there for strike 1. So a nice start to this inning for Joe Gaither. Wilson went 1 of 2 versus Hendersonville with a 2 RBI double, which was his first hit of the season, as he's down now in an 0-2 hole. Wilson also got walked 2 times yesterday, so easily his best performance at bat of the 2023 summer campaign, as that pitch is low and away for ball 1. So 1-2 count, 2 outs, no runners on. And Wilson second to last in the order for the Corn Dogs. Sees this one in from Gaither as it goes outside once again for ball 2. Even count now. After 2 quick ground outs from Masri and Singleton, Joe Gaither, the 6'3" righty from Harmony, North Carolina, settling into this game a bit. And that'll be strike 3 looking. The off-speed gets Harrison Wilson, and 3 up, 3 down for the Owls in the bottom of the second, which sends us to the third with the Corn Dogs. Up 3-0 here as Sam Johnson heads back on the bump for Queen City. All right, welcome back to action here between the Corn Dogs, who are up 3-0 on the Statesville Owls. Top of the order back up for Statesville, as that pitch is fouled back, and the bat is flung back by Isaiah Williams-Rem, who had a leadoff single for the Owls. The pitch, 0-1 count. Goes just low for ball 1, so even at 1s now for Williams-Rem. Williams-Rem attends Wingate, where in 3 seasons he's batted .237. And a nice off-speed pitch right there from Johnson as it catches Rem with a swing and a miss. So a 1-2 count. Johnson with 5 strikeouts and 2 innings of work, as that one is lined to Dave Masri at shortstop, and he beams it across the diamond and gets the out at first. Nice play right there by Masri for the first out of the inning.
Now batting the shortstop number 22, Garrett Latalik.
Garrett Ladalek up at plate for the Owls, as that pitch is low and outside for ball number 1. Ladalek got a base hit his last time up, and now is in a 1-1 count. 1 out, no runners on for the Owls. Pitch number 2 from Johnson goes just outside for ball number 2. So a 2-1 count. Ladalek swings and misses on that one. And Johnson, unlike the first and second innings, not trying to have anyone get on base early, as that pitch bounces off of home plate, into the lap of Harrison Bouthillette, starting at catcher tonight after a couple of games getting rest. Johnson, 3-2 count. Will walk Ladalek. And the second walk of the night for Johnson, which sends up number 9,
Now batting third baseman
Sion Barnett. One runner on, 1 out. Sion Barnett struck out his last time out. As Johnson working with some pace right here and gets strike 1 in on his first pitch of the at-bat. Barnett, 5'10", 195-pound junior from Eskrin College. Batting in the 3-hole tonight as Johnson tries to pick off Ladalek at first, unable to do so. So count still 0-1. Ladalek threatening to steal. Barnett takes this pitch and chops it right into the infield. The play will be made by Budnick at first base, as that one looked like a pitching wedge on the golf course, as Barnett never had anything going on that swing and gets the second out of the inning for the Owls. Ladalek able to advance to second as J.D. James steps back into the box for the second time tonight. Once again, I'll let you guys decide at home whether it's the afternoon or night. I'm going to stay out of that debate. So meanwhile, 2 outs. Corndogs still leading 3-0. Runner on second is Ladalek. As James hits that one into the outfield. And that will bring home the first run of the night for the Owls. James with a double. Ladalek gets across home, so it's a 3-1 game now. Corndogs still in the lead, and the first earned run of the season for Sam Johnson. As J.D. James from China Grove, North Carolina,
batting left fielder number 28, Caleb Grant.
brings in the first run of the night and sends up number 28, Caleb Gant. A big hit with 2 outs for James, the first baseman, to get the Owls on the board. Johnson bounces back with the strike on his first pitch after the hit. It's Caleb Gant, the freshman from Catawba College, up to bat for the second time tonight. Johnson, 0-1 count, makes it 0-2, getting the swing and the miss out of Gant. And now just 1 strike away from bringing this thing to the bottom of the third. James still on second. As Johnson beams this one in, and that'll be strike number 3, his 6th strikeout in 3 innings. And Johnson allows the 1 run, but bounces back with the strikeout and brings the Corndogs to the bottom of the 3rd inning with a 3-1 lead. Bottom of the third inning here. Corndogs up 3-1. And bottom of the batting order for Queen City with Wilson Lohr up for his first at-bat of the contest. Wilson Lohr, pinch hit against Hendersonville yesterday. Went 0 of 1, also got walked as Joe Gaither throws that one just low, so ball one for Lohr. Lohr yet to record a hit this season. The Charlotte native hits off the light post out here, so one of the big lights for night games might have a little dent in it, courtesy of Wilson Lohr, as he now brings the count to 1-1 against Gaither, who had a much better second inning than he did the first after allowing a 3-run home run in the first to Tyler Cotto. He bounced back nicely, but Lohr secures his first hit of the 2023 season with a leadoff single here in the bottom of the third. That sends up Garrett Sanner
Now batting for the Dogs,
for his second at-bat of the contest. Sanner grounded out his last time up. Sees this pitch drop into the strike zone for strike one. Nice off speed right there from Gaither, clocking it at about, looks like 69 miles per hour, so catching Sanner off balance for sure. As Lohr sends to second base, slides, but eventually realized that he will have to take the long walk back to first. Dirtied up those beautiful Corndogs yellow pants tonight. But I doubt that'll be the last time that Lohr tries to send it over to second. As that pitch is in there for strike number 3. And Sanner 0 for 2 on the night, which sends up Luke Harris, who got hit by a pitch his last time up. Luke Harris is 0 for 1 tonight, as we said. Got hit by the pitch, so 0 for 0 actually. With Lohr on first, 1 out. And that one is right to the shortstop, and that'll be a double play to end the inning. And after a 3-run first inning, the Corndogs unable to come up with anything in the second or the third, which sends us to the top of the fourth. As Sam Johnson heads back on the mound for Queen City. We'll be right back after this quick break. Live action here from the top of the fourth inning between Statesville Owls and your Queen City Corndogs. Corndogs on top 3-1 here, with Sam Johnson getting ready for his fourth inning of action on the mound. And that pitch is in there for strike 1 at 81 miles per hour. So no signs of slowing down for Johnson, who has 6 strikeouts through 3 innings. But up at plate right now for the Owls is number 24, Noah Moritz, who got a double in his last time up, as That pitch is outside for ball one. Moritz, all the way from Orlando, Florida, where dreams come true if you're a Disney adult or something like that. So making his way up to the Tar Heel State for some summer ball, attends Bluefield State College. And up 2-1 in this count. Make it 2-2 as Johnson's off speed sits in the strike zone. And now Moritz has to protect the plate here. Johnson rejects the call from Bouthillette, throws this one in, and it'll be high for ball number 3. So full count right here for Moritz, looking to get on base for the second time tonight. He scored the 1 run for the Owls in the bottom of the third inning as the play to Wilson all the way across the diamond, and it'll be an out at first base. Moritz flying down the base path, almost got there in time, but not faster than the right arm of Harrison Wilson, as that records the first out of the inning for the Corndogs and sends up Caden Howell for his second at-bat. Designated hitter tonight, or extra hitter, I should say, for this Statesville team, as that pitch is just inside for ball number 1. 1 out, no runners on. As this game has flown by, not even reached an hour of game time, and we're already in the top of the 4th. Johnson operating quickly on the mound as he gets his first strike of the at-bat. 1-1 even count. And that'll be just low for ball number 2. The Marietta College product. Not one to waste any seconds up there on the bump, as that's going to be ball number 3, so Caden Howell. It's a favorable matchup right here, 3-1 count. And that'll be a walk for Johnson. Howell makes his way over to first base. Brings up number 36, Kenny Liner, for his second at-bat of the contest.
Now at the plate, the catcher number 36, Kenny Liner.
Liner, 6'3", lefty. Sees pitch 1 go in for a ball just low, so with Howell on first base, Liner at the plate. Johnson throws that one in, 86 miles per hour. The Corndogs. Well, Johnson really tonight with 6 strikeouts through 3 innings. As that one goes right down the first base gap. Howell will try to get the third base. No, he won't. Will stop himself right there. So now runners on first and second for the Owls after the single from Liner. So the tying run on first for Statesville, which brings up number 3, Jack Weaver, for his second at-bat of the contest. Weaver, the 5'8", 165-pound righty from Salisbury, North Carolina, with 2 runners on, 1 out. And now an 0-1 count as Johnson catches him looking with the off-speed. Johnson looking back at second. And there'll be a time called by the umpire or someone involved in the play. So reload things up. 0-1 count here. Howell at second, Liner at first. Weaver at the plate. As Johnson launches this one in, it'll go high for ball 1. Johnson with his 6 strikeouts tonight. has the Corndogs about halfway to their season average, well, per 9 innings, which the Corndogs haven't reached that often. A lot of games involving run rules, and tonight's game won't reach 9 innings either, as that one is a swing and a miss from Weaver, so 1-2 count. For those of you who weren't with us earlier on the broadcast, it's 2 7-inning games this evening. Both between these two teams. A little Friday doubleheader for you. Happy to be bringing it to you. As both runners go right here, the strikeout and the tag at third is made by Harrison Wilson. So the 7th strikeout of the game for Johnson. And to add a cherry on top, they get the 3rd out of the inning on the steal. A pickoff right there from Bouthillette. And that brings us to the bottom of the 4th inning with the Corndogs still up 3-1 here at the Friar. Welcome back, ladies and gents, for the bottom of the 4th inning. After Corndogs got out the 3 runs in the bottom of the 1st, have come up empty in their last 2. Trying to change that right here with Cannon Pierce leading off for Queen City. Doubled his last time up, did the lefty. And he tips that one back for strike number 1. Pierce is really coming into his own. Entering his sophomore year at UNC Asheville, he's tied for the best on-base percentage on the team. And 2nd in the best OPS for the Corndogs. Not to mention, as we said earlier, he leads the team in steals and walks. As that's going to be strike number 2. So a 1-2 count now for Pierce, who has the lone extra base hit of the night for the Corndogs. Besides that home run, of course. The lone extra base hit in play, we'll say that. As timeout called in the box. 1-2 count here. Pierce batting .412 on the season now. Takes the 1-2 pitch, and it'll go way outside to make it an even 2-2 count. Pierce from Matthews, North Carolina, attended Butler High School. Hits this one up into the air. A pop into left field, and the play is made in the shallow outfield for a pop fly, and the 1st out of the inning for the Corndogs.
Now batting extra hitter number 11, Tyler Cotto.
That sends up the man of the hour, Tyler Cotto. responsible for the 3 runs tonight for the Corndogs on that huge home run into left field for his 4th home run of the season and 3 games in a row with 1 as he takes pitch 1 low and outside, almost touching the white paint on the right batter's box. So 1-0 count, no runners on, 1 out. As Cotto cranks that one over the right field wall and into the creek. That ball's going to be a swimmer. So 1-1 now, as Cotto has simply dominated the last stretch of games for the Corndogs. As this one goes right into the outfield, past the shortstop, the play unable to be made as Cotto gets his 2nd hit of the night with a single and the first base runner for the Corndogs of the 4th inning.
Stepping into the box for the Dogs, first baseman number 55, Will Budnick.
So with Cotto on first, his collegiate teammate, Will Budnick, steps up to plate. 1 out. Budnick struck out his last time at the plate. And that pitch is outside for ball 1. Budnick has been a solid contributor for the Corndogs this season, batting .353 with 6 RBIs. Takes strike 1 looking, so an even 1-1 count. Budnick against the Honeycrisps last time out. Went 2 of 3 with an RBI double. And also got walked twice for one of his best games, if not his best game of the season. Looking to build off that as the pitch is just out of the strike zone. So mark it at 2-1. Budnick, Queen City kid from Charlotte. As he pops this one behind the back netting to even the count at 2. Joe Gaither on the mound. And apart from that Cotto home run, has had a pretty solid day on the bump for the Owls. Making his first start of the season is Gaither. As that one is ripped towards first base, will go foul. So keep it at a 2-2 count here for Budnick. Umpire needed to fix some things real quick. So we're ready to go here. Gaither, 1 out on the inning with Cotto at first. Budnick, 2-2 count. Hits this one right to the shortstop, and will it be a double play? Yes, it will. So yet again, another double play in this game, and a great play right there by the shortstop. That's Garrett Ladalek to get the 2nd and 3rd out of the inning and bring us to the top of the 5th with Queen City up 3-1 over Statesville here in Game 1 between the Owls and the Corndogs. Welcome back, everyone. Top of the fifth inning here between the visiting Statesville Owls and your Queen City Corndogs. Sam Johnson throwing a gem on the mound right now for Queen City. Throws a ball on his first pitch of the inning. 7 strikeouts through 4 innings and some change now. As Troy Clary, number 2, the outfielder, fouls this one over the right field wall and into the neighboring waters here at Charlotte Ladden's high school baseball field. So a 1-1 count for Troy Clary as he takes that one into the dirt. Clary chops that one foul towards Harrison Wilson, who was ready to make the play at third base, has had some exceptional plays tonight. Most notably that last tag out at third to get the rare 1-2-5 double play. Credit to Harrison Boothlet behind the plate for a great throw, as that'll bring up a full count for Troy Clary, the 5'10", 170-pound righty out of Mocksville, North Carolina. And that pitch is going to be ball number 4, so a leadoff base runner here for the Owls. As for as great as Johnson's been tonight, has walked a few Owls, which brings up the top of the order for Statesville, Isaiah Williams-Rem. Back up for his third opportunity of the night. The Wingate product. 6'1", 190 pounds from Greensboro, North Carolina. Led things off with a single. The lefty sees that pitch go in for strike number 1. It's a quick timeout for a runaway ball. Back along to stop. So 0-1 count, no outs, and Clary on first. Johnson has been nothing short of fantastic tonight, looking to continue that right here, as that pitch is lined right past Garrett Sander at second base, and the second hit of the night for Williams-Rem. And now 2 base runners here for the Owls. And it looks like we may have a pitching change. A lot of action so far in this game for Sam Johnson, wondering if Coach Pluta is trying to save his arm for the rest of the season, and it looks like that might be the case. So Sam Johnson will end the night with 7 strikeouts and 4 innings and some change. That was a fantastic performance from the Marietta College product on the mound. And so we'll be right back for the remainder of the top of the 5th inning with a new pitcher on the bump for the Corndogs. All right, welcome back here for the top of the fifth inning. No outs, 2 runners on for the Owls, and a pitching change made after a really great outing by Sam Johnson in his first start of the 2023 SCBL season. Taking his place is number 7, Grayson Munyon from Birmingham Southern for the Corndogs, who in his own right has had a flaming hot start to his season as well. That pitch is outside for ball 1. And up at the plate for the Owls is number 22, Garrett Ladalek. Ladalek, who goes to Bluefield State from Reedsville, North Carolina. With no outs, has 2 runners on. And that one is chopped towards Wilson at third base. Wilson throws, and the play is not able to be made. A difficult one at that, as Ladalek gets the single. And now the bases are loaded with no outs, bringing up Sion Barnett, number 9, the junior from Honea Path, South Carolina. And a great opportunity here for the Owls to even take back, take the lead. Munyon threw a scoreless no-hit inning to close out the Concord A's, but just threw a hit right there, so we'll see how he bounces back, as that one is crushed out foul, so into the shrubs goes that ball, as an 0-1 count now for Munyon, who had an undefeated high school career at Collierville High. Munyon from Collierville, Tennessee, now attending Birmingham Southern. With an 0-1 count, bases loaded, no outs, and a big jam here, as that one is lined into the outfield and bringing home 1. As Williams Rem rounds third, will he get there in time? And he does. So we have a tie game here between the Owls and the Corndogs. Big hit right there, as Sion Barnett gets the 2 RBI single, giving him now 4 RBIs through 3 games in SCBL play. And with no outs, there's runners on second and first. And J.D. James, who hit a double his last time up, at the plate right now. Those runs will go to Sam Johnson, as Munyon winds this one up, and that one is fouled back. And all of a sudden, the Owls have regained a ton of momentum here with the leading run at second base. That's Ladalek at second, Barnett at first, and James, the lefty, who fouls that one up and into the woods. So an 0-2 count here, and a chance for Munyon to get the first out of the inning for the Corndogs. Oh-2 count. Munyon, who has 4 Ks in 2 innings of work this season, has that one hit right past the extended arm of Dave Masri and loads the bases once again. The throw home, backed up by Munyon. And once again, 3 runners on for the Owls, as all of a sudden Statesville has really taken a hold of this contest.
Now batting left fielder number 28, Caleb Grant.
And that sends up Caleb Gant, number 28, from Matthews, North Carolina, so not too far away from Charlotte Ladin High School. And with no outs, he has 3 runners on, with Munyon dealing this one in for ball 1, just high. Munyon struck out all 3 batters he faced in the game against Concord, and now in a big jam, but has a 1-2 count in his favor right now, with, once again for Munyon, a good opportunity to get the first out of the inning. After all, this is 1 out at a time for the Corndogs. Still a tie game, but bases loaded, as that's going to be a swing and a miss. So make it a 1-2 count now. Maybe seeing that pitch get whiffed on will provide Munyon with some confidence on the bump. As the righty, 6'2", 190-pounder, loads this one in, and it is grounded past Harrison Wilson, bringing in 1 run. Barnett rounding third, and the play unable to be made, but the tag is no good, so now that brings in 2 more runs, extending the lead to 5 for Statesville. And now with runners on the corners, no outs, and a complete explosion here from the Owls. 5 unanswered runs in the inning. 4, excuse me. And still no outs for the Corndogs. Things getting a little bit ugly here for Queen City, which sends number 24, Noah Moritz, the lefty from Orlando, back up to the plate. He's already got an extra base hit tonight, and now from being up 3 to down 2, Grayson Munyon and the Corndogs attempting to bounce back here. As pitch 1 is high for ball 1, and a good showing from the fans here from Statesville, making their way down to South Charlotte, and they're a vocal bunch tonight. You can hear them as Moritz fouls that one back and away. So count evens up at 1-1. Runners on the corners for the Owls. And a runner going to go as a pickle right here. We have Bouthelette with J.D. James. J.D. James running back home. The play will be tagged by Harrison Wilson, and a much-needed out for the Corndogs after J.D. James got caught in a pickle. Runner does advance to second for the Owls, but the out more important, and getting an out from someone in scoring position. So nice awareness there from Munyon and Bouthelette, especially Bouthelette not to impulsively throw that to second, which would have allowed the run to virtually walk home. So 1 out now, 1-1 count. As Moritz with a runner on second hits this pitch into the outfield. Will it be caught? And yes! Luke Harris catches it in the outfield, but gets upended by his own outfield teammate, Caleb Singleton, and that will bring home a runner. Number 28, Caleb Gant, skips across home plate, and it looks like Luke Harris is down and injured. A scary play right there in the outfield, and actually, Harris is getting up, so that's a really good sign. Fantastic catch right there from Harris to concentrate while getting upended. Looked like a wave hitting you at the ankles on the beach. Singleton on a collision with Harris. So 6-3 game here with Statesville. 5 unanswered runs in the inning, but 2 outs after the pop fly by Moritz, caught by Harris.
Now batting extra hitter number 7, Caden Howe.
And everyone seems to be okay involved in the play, both outfielders, so no injuries, fortunately. Maybe sore tomorrow, or at least for the second game between these two squads today. So Munyon now with 2 outs. No runners on. Throws a first pitch strike at 74 miles per hour to Caden Howell, who was at the plate. Howell from Rockingham Community College. Trying to continue this onslaught from the Owls, but that one is fouled back. So now 1 strike away for Munyon in what's been really a disaster of an inning for the Corndogs on defense. As Munyon loads this one up, and it is fouled over the right field wall. That ball's going for a dip, cooling off from this North Carolina summer heat. Howell, 0-2 count, no runners on. As Bouthelette snares that one up high. So 1-2 count now as Grayson Munyon on the verge of helping the Corndogs get out of this inning, which you can bet they want to do as soon as possible. A really rough set of at-bats here for Munyon and the Corndogs roster, as that one is low and away. So a 2-2 count here on Howell, junior from Roaring River, North Carolina. The extra hitter tonight for this Owl squad. Swings and a miss. So that is the final out of the inning, but not for nothing as the Owls pour it on in the 5th inning. 5 unanswered runs now for Statesville, who take a 6-3 lead into the bottom of the 5th. We'll be right back for action from the bottom of the 5th after this quick break. Bottom of the 5th inning here between the Owls and the Corndogs. And if you're just tuning in after maybe stopping by earlier, you're probably wondering, how did this game flip on Queen City? Well, the top of the 5th inning provided 5 runs as Bouthillette launches that one into the outfield, but it goes further up than it goes far and gets the first out of the inning. Bouthillette 0 for 2 tonight now, has the play made in the outfield by number 2, Troy Clary. Actually, excuse me, that's Jack Weaver, number 3, the second baseman, going out to the outfield. So that sends up number 26, Dave Mossery, for his second at-bat. Corndogs really got all 3 runs on that Tyler Cotto home run. So one swing has really propelled the Corndogs to this lead as pitch 1 is in there for a strike. And tons of credit goes to Joe Gaither, the Surrey Community College product, 6'3", 195 pounds, has been dealing ever since that first inning. Statesville trusting their starting pitcher tonight, and it's paid dividends. So now 1-1 count for Mossery, the Williams College product, as he takes a rip at that one. 1-2 count now after the swing and the miss. And the last thing the Corndogs can afford here is a quick inning. Down 3, have some work to do as Mossery keeps himself in this one, fouling that one over the back net. Gaither winds this one up, deals it in, and the off-speed is going to be just outside of the strike zone. The Statesville side of the field imploring that was in zone, but nevertheless, umpire says 2-2 count with one out, no runner on. Gaither That one is going to be a strike. So caught looking is Dave Masri. And after that long inning on defense for the Corndogs, just a quick 2 outs here in the bottom of the fifth as Caleb Singleton heads up for his second at-bat of the contest. Singleton grounded out his last time up at the plate. The lefty from Lander sees that pitch go in at 80 miles per hour down Main Street, so make it 0-1 count with 2 outs, no runners on. And if Gaither's able to complete this inning, the tides will have completely changed on the Corndogs. Corndogs haven't scored since that first inning home run by Tyler Cotto as Singleton dribbles out one to the second baseman, and the play made. So 3 up, 3 down, just what you don't want if you're Jeff Pluta and the Corndogs side, which sends us to the top of the 6th inning with Statesville still on top 6-3. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the top of the 6th inning between your Queen City Corndogs and the visiting Statesville Owls. Owls, after a big 5th inning, have gotten out to a 6-3 lead for those of you just joining us. And the catcher at the plate right now, number 36, Kenny Liner. And new pitcher into the game for the Corndogs, number 14, Will Hansen. Hansen last saw action against Mooresville, where he pitched 4 innings and allowed 3 earned runs as his first toss goes out of the strike zone for ball 1. Hansen had 3 strikeouts in that game and allowed 7 hits, which was his worst outing of the year, but for the Corndogs, that was their worst outing of the year, as that is a swing and a miss. Big chop at it right there by Liner. Comes up short, so 1-1 count as Hansen enters the game, trying to keep the Owls within arm's reach as that pitch low and outside for ball 2. Liner, the Western Carolina product, leading things off here for the Owls. With a 2-1 count, make it 3-1. Went with Hansen on the mound. Hansen, a Charlotte native, went to Charlotte Catholic High School. Right down the road here from Charlotte Ladin. As that's a swing and a miss and brings it to a full count now. And A pivotal moment in this game, especially for Hansen. Young guy entering his sophomore year at the Catholic University of America, where he got some serious run as a freshman, tested, and throws this one in for a line drive right to Will Budnick at first. Well, not a line drive, but skips its way to Budnick at first, who applies the tag and gets the Corndogs their first out of the inning. A much-needed sight right there after what occurred in the top of the fifth. As number 3, Jack Weaver, steps up to the plate for the Owls. 1 out, no runners on. Against Hansen, who is among the leaders for most major pitching categories for the Corndogs, as that off-speed pitch catches Weaver swinging and missing. Nice pitch right there by Hansen. 0-1 count now. Hansen second on the Corndogs in strikeouts, and third in innings pitch, so getting a lot of work and being productive with that work, as that's an 0-2 count now on back-to-back whiffs by Weaver. The downside with Hansen, though, is that he has allowed the most hits on the team. Part of that comes with pitching as much as he has, as that is going to be just high for ball 1. So, a little bit of feast or famine with Will Hansen, though 7 of those hits came against Mooresville in a game that it looked like it didn't really matter who was on the mound the way the Spinners were hitting it that night. A little bit of a closer game here. Corndogs down 3. Trying to come back here with only 2 innings left in the contest. And that one is popped up. Harrison Wilson calls for it. The third baseman gets under it and gets the second out of the inning for the Corndogs. So now with no runners on, 2 outs, Will Hansen has settled in a little bit and given the Corndogs some stability right now after that really disastrous 5th inning. Troy Clary, number 2, the right fielder, stepping up to bat. Hansen trying to go 3 up, 3 down, and Clary takes that one right there for ball 1. Hansen with the 3.5 ERA on the year, as that one is lined to center. Caleb Singleton, unable to make the play, couldn't track it, hits the back wall, and Clary will get to second base. And an extra base hit right there for the Owls again. Singleton was unable to get under that one. Though that is the one part of the field that the sun is still shining down on. The trees on left field are creating a big shadow over, I'd say, 60 to 70% of the diamond. But part of that that's not covered is right at center field, where Singleton was unable to get that one, as now there's a runner on second, 2 outs, and the top of the order up for the Owls, Williams Rem, who has 2 singles on the night. The lefty sees that one bounce into the dirt. Nice stop by Bouthelette. And regardless of the woes that the Corndogs have had offensively since that first inning, you're not going to be able to at least try unless you play a little defense right here, so a much-needed stop for Queen City, as that is going to be a 2-0 count on Williams Rem. Williams Rem, the junior from Wingate, 6'1" lefty, has 91 hits in 3 collegiate seasons, and has a hit right there going dead center. Looks like Clary's going to round second, and he will get home. So another run right there on an RBI single to give Statesville a 7-3 lead, as momentum continues to shift in favor of the Owls.
Shortstop, number 22, Garrett Ladalek.
Garrett Ladalek back at the plate. The two-hole hitter for the Owls this evening from Bluefield State. 6'1" junior has had a productive game in his own right. As with 2 outs, he fouls this one back over the right field wall. Into the woods that one goes. So an 0-1 count now. Williams rem on first, and the Corndogs allow one more run this inning as quick timeout for a bullpen ball that snuck its way on the field. Ladalek down 0-1, sees this pitch go low and inside from Hansen, so make it a 1-1 even count. The Corndogs have allowed the second most runs in a game this season tonight, as that one goes right to Luke Harris in right field. A single from Ladalek, and after getting two quick outs, Hansen in a bit of a jam now with two runners on, and Sion Barnett stepping up to the plate after he got a 2 RBI hit his last time up. Bouthillette steps up to the bump to talk with his pitcher. As Barnett, who has 4 RBIs in 3 games in conference play, batting in the 3-hole tonight, aiming to continue his hot start to the SCBL season. Meanwhile, Hansen and company doing anything right now to just get that third out and keep themselves within striking distance. Hansen looks back at Williams rem on second, deals this one in, and it is low, and a nice catch made right there by Harrison Bouthillette. Had to backhand that one. Keeps everything in front of him right there. Could have been 2 extra bases gotten right there on concurrent steals if that one would have squeezed past the outreached hand of Bouthillette. So now an 1-0 count. Barnett goes to Eskren College. Hits that one right to Dave Masri at shortstop. Masri launches it over to first and gets the third out of the inning. So much needed for the Corndogs, but the Owls still get 1 run here in the top of the 6th. Corndogs back up to bat, down 4 after the break. Six more outs for the Corndogs. How will they handle it? On the verge of their second loss of the season right here to the Statesville Owls. And a contact made on the first pitch that Harrison Wilson sees. But getting under it are the Owls in the outfield. So 1 swing, 1 out for Joe Gaither and this Statesville side. Gaither has had a sensational performance on the bump tonight, which sends up Wilson Lohr for his second at-bat of the game. Lohr had a single, his first hit of the season last time up, batting in the 10 spot tonight for the Corndogs is Lore, as that one is fouled back. 0-1 count now. And really can't overstate how solid Gaither has been as a pitcher tonight for Statesville, excuse me. Gaither allowed the 3-run shot in the top of the first, but it has held the Corndogs scoreless since, as a quick 0-2 hole for Lore on that off-speed pitch from Gaither. And Gaither's offense has helped him out too by extending this lead to 4 as the pitch is outside for ball 1. No runners on, 1 out. Corndogs haven't even gone through the batting order twice, so that's just a testament to this Statesville ace and how he's performed tonight, as that pitch is fouled off. The rebound pops right back into the hand of Lore. Some nice reflexes there, as he still is in the 1-2 count. Lore, who went to Southeastern Community College and then now transferred to Southern Wesleyan, watches that pitch go outside for a 2-2 count. Lore 6'3", 185. Getting ready to play ball at SWU after 2 solid years at Southern Wesleyan and, at Southeastern CC. And that one goes over the head of the first baseman, J.D. James, who's a tall guy in his own right. James is listed at 6'3", 220, so nice location on the hit right there from Wilson Lore, and he has his first 2 hits of the season tonight at the bottom of the order, which brings up Garrett Sanner. And Sanner may be due, leading the Corndogs in hits and batting average on the season. Also has 11 RBIs, which leads the team. 0 for 2 tonight with a ground out and a strikeout, as that pitch is high and inside for ball 1. Only 5 outs left in the game for the Corndogs, so need to get something going soon. No better time to do that than with the top of the order, as Sanner, who attends Lenore Rhine, hits that one into the outfield. Lore got a head start trying to steal second, and he will actually get to third, it looks like. So now runners on the corners with 1 out. Sanner gets his first hit of the contest, and that brings up Luke Harris.
For the Corndogs, right fielder number 13, Luke Harris.
Luke Harris has gone over 1 tonight, grounded out, but also got hit by a pitch in his first at-bat. Happy to see that he's okay. Had a pretty scary collision around the leg area in the outfield with a catch he made earlier, as that is in there for strike 1 for Gaither, who, with 1 out, has runners on the corners. Potential opportunity here for Queen City to inch back into this one. And perhaps the last opportunity to do that either, as Sanner gets back to first, and the ball on the throwback to the pickoff allows Wilson Lore to score on the error, so make it 4-7. Statesville still on top, but 1 run closer are the Corndogs and Wilson Lore with a great at-bat to get on base, and then some really solid base running to help the Corndogs score their first tally since the beginning of the game. 1-1 count now. Gaither throws this one in, and Luke Harris rips that one towards the Corndogs dugout, goes foul, so a 1-2 count here. Sanner on first. Gaither now facing a little adversity after that allowed run. Well, not actually an earned run, but the run gets in nevertheless. As Harris, the limestone product, cranks that one past the shortstops. The play unable to be made right there by Ladalik. Difficult one at that on the 1-hop. So now 2 runners on, and Cannon Pierce up to bat. 3 straight singles for the Corndogs, and looks like they found their mojo here in the bottom of the 6th inning, as Statesville is going to have a meeting on the mound. It looks like Joe Gaither's night may be done for the Owls. So we will be right back for the remainder of the inning with a new pitcher on the bump for Statesville. Stay tuned. One out here, 2 runners on for the Corndogs, and Cannon Pierce, the designated hitter tonight, though he really plays all over the field. Getting a night off on defense is Pierce as he takes ball 1 outside, and a new pitcher in the game for the Owls after a great outing by Joe Gaither. Number 13, Cam Bowles from Rockingham Community College is in the game, trying to close out the Dogs, and Pierce drives that one out for a foul, so make it a 1-1 count here for Pierce, the lefty from UNC Asheville. He's batting .412 on the season and leads the team in walks. That pitch is just inside, so make it 2-1 count now on Pierce. Garrett Sander at second base, Luke Harris at first. 3 singles in a row, dating back to Lohr, who started things off, as Pierce chops that one to the pitcher, and that will be an error. Unable to catch it, the throw errant from Bowles, and that will load the bases for the Corndogs. A lucky break, and boy, oh boy, is this a good opportunity for Queen City, as number 11, Tyler Cotto, steps up to the plate for QC. Obviously, for those of you who haven't tuned in, Cotto got his 3rd straight game with a home run earlier in the first inning. Cotto has a 3-run shot in the bottom of the first, way over the left field wall. Has 4 on the season, and with bases loaded, 1 out, not the guy you want to see. That one goes through the legs of the catcher, and Sander scurries across home plate. So 1 more run for the Corndogs, and 2 more in scoring position. So a 1-0 count, 1 out. Sander gets the 5th run to bring the lead back within 2. The deficit, back within 2 for the Corndogs. Harris on 3rd. Pierce on 2nd. And Cotto was definitely aiming for the fences with that swing. Comes up with nothing, though. Got to be a scary moment for Cam Bowles as he just comes into the game. Has to deal with multiple base runners, allows 1 more hit on a poor throw, and now with a 2-1 count against the best power hitter statistically on the Corndogs and arguably the SCBL so far through the beginning of conference season. Tyler Cotto with 10 RBIs on the season, 13 if you count the 3 he had tonight. And that pitch is going to be strike number 2. So Cotto now has to defend the plate. Cotto far and away has the best slugging percentage and OPS on the roster. As it looks like maybe his necklace, his chain might have broken off. So now an iceless Tyler Cotto will have to deal with the barren shoulder as that pitch is low and inside for ball number 3. And with a full count here, Cam Bowles in a sticky situation to say the least. The 6'2 lefty from Greensboro, North Carolina, trying to shut down the Corndogs, and Cotto airs that one over the right field wall, so keeps the count at full. The bases, 2 in scoring position, and still only 1 out. The tying run at second, Cannon Pierce. As Cotto, the righty from Queens, takes this pitch up high, and the bases are loaded yet again. Great at-bat there from Tyler Cotto, who has got it on base all 3 times he stepped up to the plate tonight. And now Will Budnick up to bat for the Corndogs.
Now the batter's box for the Corndogs, first baseman number 55, Will Budnick.
Will Budnick 0 for 2 tonight with a strikeout and a ground out. But that one is going to go straight up. The umpire and the catcher. Oh, the catcher had to right there. A play made, but looked a little scary for some Statesville fans. Liner juggled that one. But still the second out of the inning. And with bases loaded, this would be a win still for the Owls to still be up 2 despite having so many base runners for the Corndogs in this inning. So 2 outs, bases loaded, and after the pop out from Budnick, that brings up Harrison Bouthelette, who is also 0 for 2 tonight. But Bouthelette, the second best power hitter on this Corndogs roster, sees that pitch go into the lap of Liner for ball 1. Bouthelette up 1-0 in the count. The pitch goes over the head of Bouthelette. He had to duck down to get into that one. Maybe if he didn't duck, that would have hit him in the helmet. So 2-0 count, 2 outs. Tying run still at second. Bases loaded. And that pitch is high for ball number 3. A walk here, and the Corndogs can bring it back within 1. Corndogs had gone scoreless for majority of the game after the first inning, and that will be ball number 4. So bring home a run. That'll be Luke Harris taking the easy walk across home plate, and now bringing the lead only to 1 for Statesville, and a visit to the mound for Bowles. So that means we'll take a break right here and be right back for the remainder of the 6th inning. Things have gotten interesting here at the Friar. change on the mound for the Owls. Into the game is number 17, Adam Featherstone. And a new batter for the Corndogs, pinch hitting for Dave Masri, is his former Charlotte Ladin teammate, Nathan Sammy. Sammy fouls that first pitch off, and Sammy had his first hit of the season yesterday against the Honeycrisps with a big double in that game. As that pitch goes behind the catcher, and the play will be made. Cannon Pierce ties this game up on the wild pitch, and things have completely opened up. We have an even score here in the bottom of the 6th inning, and with 2 outs, a 1-1 count for Sammy, 2 more in scoring position, and a chance for the Corndogs to not only come all the way back and tie this thing, but possibly take the lead. Featherstone with a 1-1 count. That one also goes by the catcher. Another wild pitch, and unable to make the play as Tyler Cotto slides home, and the Corndogs, against all odds, have the lead 8-7 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. What an up and down game this has been. A seesaw affair between the Owls and the Corndogs, and with a 2-1 count, Bouthelette resides at third. Sammy has a chance to further extend this lead. Who would have thought that we'd be saying that just an inning ago? A rally of epic proportions for the Corndogs, and the job is still not even finished. Plenty of opportunity here for Sammy. 2-1 count, and he cranks that one straight up. J.D. James trying to get there, and he'll get it. So, don't want to say weathering the storm, but the Owls get out of the inning eventually, and that brings us to the top of the 7th, with the Owls having 3 outs away from, Corndogs are 3 outs away from winning this game after being down 7-1 going into that inning. A huge half inning from the Corndogs, and we'll be back for the top of the 7th after this quick break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. A fantastic game between the Corndogs and the Owls, Statesville and Queen City. Trading punches back and forth, but who's going to get the last laugh? Well, if Harrison Wilson, the new pitcher for the Dogs, has anything to say about it, it'll be his squad, as pitch is going to be fouled way up. Boothellette couldn't get there in time, so an 0-1 count on J.D. James, who's batting first, the first baseman for the Owls. After a 7-run inning from Queen City, these two teams have gone back and forth, and Harrison Wilson, for those of you who have been paying attention, has been at third base for majority of the game, also pitches. So now Will Samuelson will take his spot at third, and in terms of batting, that'll seed the extra hitter for the Corndogs as it goes 1-1 count now. But manager Jeff Pluta's philosophy is you don't need an extra hitter if you don't have to hit, and that's what the Corndogs are trying to accomplish here as that pitch is up high for ball number 2. J.D. James, the sophomore from Caldwell Community College, native of China Grove, North Carolina, trying to lead things off here with a spark for the Owls after that last inning. And this one is popped up to the shortstop, and the play is made by Nathan Sammy. 1 down, 2 outs to go for Queen City. And really, that's something that's even surprising for me to say, as only 15 to 20 minutes ago, this game seemed firmly in the grasp of the Owls. But now Statesville sends up number 28, Caleb Gant. Gant, 5'11", 195-pound righty from Matthews, North Carolina, going up against Harrison Wilson, who has been a great two-way player so far in that off-speed pitch. Normally throws a lot of heat. Will get up close to 90 miles per hour, does Wilson, and the Winthrop freshman right there catches Gant off balance with the off-speed. And once again, gets that one into the strike zone with the slower pitch. So an 0-2 count here for Wilson, who is only 6th in the team in innings pitched, but is 3rd in strikeouts. So gets a lot of batters swinging and missing, and does that just there. 2 down for the Corndogs, and against all odds, 1 out away from taking game 1 against the Owls. Just a reminder, after this game, there'll be a 30-minute break, and then the second leg of a doubleheader between these two squads, which, after watching this one, I don't know how you couldn't want another one. More baseball? Yes, please, especially between these two teams in what has been a fantastic game. And that pitch is fouled back by Noah Moritz. The game on the line for Moritz, and this would be a heartbreaking loss for the Owls if they're unable to at least get one more run this inning, and that pitch is at the ankles of Moritz, so make it a 1-1 count now. Wilson, throwing his 4th inning of the season, gets the strike right there, and now 1 pitch away. Corndogs fans getting hyped up here for their home team. A chance to advance to 3-1 in conference play, and Moritz hits that one to the outfield. Singleton will get it, and the Corndogs come all the way back from down 7-1 to win game 1 of the doubleheader between them and the Statesville Owls. Ripping victory from the jaws of defeat do the Corndogs, and that sends us to the second leg of the doubleheader. We will be right back after a quick intermission, so sit back, relax, and get excited for a second game between these two teams in SCBL action. For for the rest of the Corndogs Entertainment crew, I'm Jonah Weintraub, and thank you for tuning in to Game 1 of this doubleheader between your Queen City Corndogs and the Statesville Owls. QC wins 8-7 with second game